Hola Bandidos, welcome to Mel's Magic. This is episode 4, 4, 4. Did I say, oh yeah, and 4 of season 4. There we go, gosh. I hope you're well. Al and I say hello. Yeah, there's one of my paintings I'm working on at the moment. I'm proud of myself that I am acting on my ideas again. You know, the thing where you have like so many ideas and plans and projects in your head, and it's wonderful to have it in your head, but another thing is to actually manifest it into this world. So I'm trying to be mindful that I translate from here into 3D. So there we go. I want to take a deep breath, conscious breath. And that is something I want to do. I really want to do more throughout the day. Conscious breathing. Conscious breathing. Because today I really, since the morning, was up here. And it was interesting because I had a kind of tense feeling already, but when I pulled the cards, and especially now after 6 p.m. here, after having gone through 2/3 of the day, I understand why. So the first card I pulled was a devil card from the Wild Unknown Tarot. And this is all symbolic, no? The symbolism of these cards is there to not be literally the devil, but maybe to ask ourselves, okay, what would be devil energy? Devil energy is anything that is obsessive, that coming from lack, obsessive negative thoughts, stemming from fear-based thoughts. So for me, for example, the devil energy is my victim story and my fear story. And I want to just clarify that I pull these cards, for example, these ones for myself, but because we're all connected, a lot of us go through similar energies at the same time, the same day. So I might have pulled this card for me specifically, but it could resonate with any one of you out there. So let me explain what happened to me, and let me know later on in the comments box if you passed something similar today. Si algo similar ha pasado. So my devil energy is related to my fear-based thoughts. So I woke up in the morning feeling tense and already, realized that, oops, it's Monday. And then these thoughts about the list of the to-do list went immediately streamed into my consciousness. And I'm like, okay, I should be meditating, but I need to do this. And you know how like one negative thought attracts easily another negative thoughts and a thought and another one and another one and another one until we have a complete story. And the ego, my ego, our egos love stories because it latches onto that story and it creates its own identity. Our egos need a story. They don't exist without a story. And let's say 80% of the time, the story our ego tells ourselves is negative and a poor me kind of story. So I already went through, I had this list of things I needed to do, and I fell into this overwhelm where I'm like, oh my God, okay, I have to do all these things, and oh, I probably have to do them all alone, and oh, a family member is still sleeping, and I'm expecting help, but I can't say anything. And it went on and on and on, and just created this whole narrative. It's a narrative based on the poor me belief of my ego, completely spiraled out of control. Texted my I'm just gonna say it. I texted my brother saying, well, all of this has to be done, but it's probably just gonna be me doing this. And basically, it was a weird way of emotional manipulation in the sense that I wasn't being direct. I was more, what do you call it? Indirectly spiteful. There's a better term, but I can't it's not in my head right now, but indirectly spiteful, and projecting my own fear that I wasn't doing enough. I was projecting it outward. And basically what it did in my entire day, it caused me suffering. Because let's face it, to have these kind of thoughts that boil down to, I'm not doing enough, the present moment is not okay because things should be different, I should be doing more, I should have achieved more. Those kind of thoughts cause us suffering. They're not pleasant to have in the mind. It causes a whole avalanche of emotions, i.e. anxiety, that are not pleasant to have in the body or in the mind. So I caused myself suffering with that projection of fearful narrative, and I caused my family members suffering because it's not pleasant to have me around if I'm in that narrative and I'm projecting those energies. And I guess what I want to point out though and congratulate myself for is, yes, I was definitely embodying this devil energy of fearful and negative thoughts. But at the same time, I was aware of it. So I was not completely unconscious. There were pretty much, I would say 80% of the time, I had the awareness that I was creating a story. I wasn't aware enough to stop the avalanche of thoughts. Although, wait a minute, I did go to the sea and I did, okay. There were several things I did out of awareness. So I said, Melanie, okay, you already have these thoughts in your body. It's already manifesting itself, so let's do something to calm yourself down and release that negative and anxious energy. So I went to the sea, swam. Salt water also helps us to release negative energy, and I sat there and meditated and did conscious breathing. So I was to my capacity, I was doing what I thought I could to make it worse. And I had enough awareness in myself that I was creating a story. The accompanying card from the main Rider Waite tarot was the Four of Swords in reverse. So upright, it talks about rest, rejuvenation, restoring ourselves, regrouping. In reverse, it's basically in the challenge position. So my challenge was to regroup and not burn out in my thoughts and not go on overdrive. And that was precisely what my entire day consisted of. Challenging my devil energy with mindfulness, breathing, and compassion also. And let's say I'm ending the day with this, with awareness of what happened and with compassion. Because another danger, one thing is getting latched on to this loop of negative thoughts and acting it out. The next level is beating ourselves up for what is happening. So I managed to be aware of my negative loop. The next step of my ego was, and I caught my ego was to berate myself or to beat myself up for it, along the likes of, well, you should have known better. You're aware enough to know what's going on. You should have known better and you should be able to stop this. And that's the next level of the ego, trying to berate myself for what was going on. And I didn't. I was trying as much as possible. Although I already communicated or projected in the wrong way to my brother. I did make a conscious effort to apologize and to be in awareness. My brother was literally witnessing my struggle. And also told myself, you can't do that, Melanie, to other people. You can't project your own anxiety or your own suffering essentially to others. You can't involve me in your suffering. And isn't it interesting and funny, but not funny, you know what I mean? It's interesting how we tend to project our suffering onto those who are closest to us. So it's likely to be our partner or our family member because they're there. So I was very aware that I was suffering, I was projecting my suffering. But I'm forgiving myself, there's no use beating myself up for it. I'm only human. I struggle every day. I try every day to stay mindful. I really don't think we should use the word mindful. It's literally I prefer bodyful, because we're trying to put our awareness from the mind, or put our consciousness more into the body to see what's going on. Anyway, I'm trying every day. I'm trying my best to be mindful, to be present, to be aware of my stories, like today. Like, oh, poor me, I have to do everything. Nobody's helping me. Might as well do everything on my own. That kind of story. I'm aware of that, and I want to pat myself on the shoulder and say, hey, we did what we could today, and we are aware that we're in this energy. And we did try our best to regroup. I went to the sea and meditated. So bravo for taking steps to mitigate the damage. It could have gone better, but we did our best, and that's good enough. And let's just take it from here. I also told myself at every step, the ego is like, oh, you could have, should have, would have kind of narrative. And instead I said, no, awareness, now, present moment. Act from the now, Don't stay in the past. Don't beat yourself up for the past. No, now is a new moment. Now is a fresh moment. Now we can choose again. Now we can think again. Act anew and forgive ourselves. So, hey, it's a practice. It's not for nothing that they call it. It's a spiritual practice, and it's in these moments of struggle that things are put to the test. I mean, obviously it's all good and light and easy, smoother when we're in a good mood, but you probably watch some of my videos. If not, you should. But I try as much as I can to be in my high vibe embodiment when I speak to you, because I want to project good energy out there. I don't want to project toxic energy, but I feel it's just as important that I share these moments or these days where I'm like, hey, I'm struggling just like you are. Every day I'm struggling. I'm not glorifying the struggle, but I'm let's say I'm not struggling, but I'm face to face with, I'm in the arena. I'm in there facing my dragons every day. I'm not above it all. No. My shadows are there, my dragons are there, but I don't beat myself up for it, because it's not some glorious enlightenment moment. It comes down to these small moments that probably nobody witnesses but ourselves. Maybe some family members, maybe some people around us who suffer under our own suffering, but it really is an internal battle, an internal coming face to face with yourself. A moment-to-moment decision, love or fear, expansion, contraction, beating yourself up, forgiving yourself, moment by moment by moment. And these moments often nobody witnesses but ourselves. So, hey, we're doing a great job talking to you, talking to me. This is what it consists of. And the more we aware become, that's why I tell myself it's so fundamental that I practice every day. Meditation, coming back into alignment. These rituals are our foundation for our awareness and our mindfulness. It's like anything, the more we practice, the better we get. The better it gets, the better it gets. So to remain on this upward spiral of expansion, evolution, of positivity, of higher frequency, we need to feed it. We need to nourish that spiral. It takes our participation, our willing. I'm not sure about the word effort, because it's allowing for forgiveness, allowing of more mindfulness, of more spaciousness. It's the struggle actually that constricts us, or that makes it heavy. It's the allowing that gives us space. That's why my next intention is to really focus on the breathing. When I'm in my own battle, I tend to constrict. I forget to breathe. When I'm anxious, I forget to breathe. When the fearful thoughts come, I forget to breathe. when the looming, punishing thoughts come, I forget to breathe. So the breath is essential. And breath not just here, but in full belly breathing breath. Yeah. And because I was already feeling this upcoming struggle earlier in the day, I pulled a card for myself and I want to share that with you. I pulled the Flying. This is from the Enchanted Map Oracle. Flying, el 20, pero al revés, upside down. So upright, you see a rocking horse or a horse with wings, and I love horses. It's one of my spirit animals. And there's a labyrinth down there, so it's kind of flying above the labyrinths we create in our own minds, flying above it. And it came out in the reverse. So the flying card stands for you have the power to see things from the higher perspective, which is true. I did, my self-awareness. Pero al reversed, when you see the flying card reversed, it is a gentle reminder that there are times to take flight and times to remain grounded. And for now, you must avoid overreaching. There's still work to be done before you earn your wings. Be patient. I'm working my patience day by day. It's not my forte patience. Be patient. What you seek will not be out of reach forever. Remember the story of Icarus in Greek mythology, whose wax-made wings and overconfidence brought him too close to the sun? He perished because he didn't realize his limitations. Humility is a great power, and now you must exercise it. Doing too much too fast, too soon only serves to prevent a beautiful flight later on. There you go, humility. I've mentioned that a few times in my videos. Humility. We need to be humble, accept our human limitations, that it's normal to have days like these, instead of berating us, to congratulate ourselves for even doing this work, which takes courage, daily, moment by moment courage. And as you know, also I burned out a few weeks ago. I've kind of regrouped now. But I also need to remind myself every day, like today, hey Melanie, the to-do list is long, but do you really have to do everything today or this week or at the same time? Let's take things step by step. That's the reparenting thing also. Those old neural pathways are so entrenched. It takes perseverance to get out of them and to create this new neural pathway of doing things differently, of taking things slow, of breathing, of being mindful, of doing of doing things gently. Gentle, 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 gentle. Compassion, compassion, compassion. Forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. Over and over and over again until that new neural pathway is on fire. Yeah. Bueno, and since you're here, I wanted to pull a card from the se me olvidó el nombre deck, the other deck, Oracle deck, in front of you, ¿vale? So for you, for us, the collective, for anyone who's watching, I'm going to pull a card, and since the last cards I pulled this morning, I always bless the space before I pull them, but now is a new segment, so I'll just clear the space for us, ¿vale? Clear the space. I welcome my angels, spirit guides, and ancestors. Please guide us for my highest good and our highest good and the highest good of everyone involved. Vale. Entonces, I forgot the little book. Anyway, I'll pull the card first, right? So this is for us. A message for us here present, please. Let's see what comes out. I like pulling cards live now. It's kind of exciting, suspenseful. I'm going to pull this one. Thank you so much. Ha! So fitting. I know this card, Observer. I don't even need the little booklet for this. So you see the little fox on an egg. with a telescope and a moon, no? This card invites us to remain observant, and that's exactly what meditation, all these mindfulness practices invite us and help us to do, to become the observer of our own thoughts and our own stories. So we don't identify with them, so we can extract ourselves and become mindful and have freedom of choice. That can really choose and not act out of old patterns and old conditioning that simply replay a story and that make us react in the same way and reinforce the narrative. So let's persevere in our mindfulness practices, whether it's conscious breathing, stopping every few moments every day to come back to the body, check in with ourselves, to even ask ourselves, what are you thinking? To not get lost in our mind chatter, and to also meditate, to raise that vibration, to calm and stop that constant monkey mind stream of thoughts, to give it a break. I mean, our mind is like a machine, no? And it needs to reboot. It needs some, like a car, you can't be on overdrive all the time. So let's observe our own selves. In the mindfulness practice, you can extract yourself and watch yourself meditating and then extract yourself again. So like observing ad infinitum, and realize you create everything. We create our stories, no? So let's be observant of our thoughts, because they affect everything. They affect our emotions, they affect our beliefs, they create narratives, they literally affect our reality, how we react to other people. Our energy then infuses our day. I mean, literally, like today, a totally devil energy. Let's mitigate that. It only creates suffering for ourselves and for others. So being an observer of our own mind will create that spaciousness so we can respond, so we can stop before we react and respond. And also then investigate, where is this thought coming from? Like my aggressiveness today was coming from fear that I was not doing enough, that not enough is being done, that nobody's doing enough, not enough. The epic story of not enough. Aren't we all affected by this? So let's be more observant, okay? Y con esto, hace chingo calor aquí. I'm going back to my training, mosquitoes, going back to my training tonight, slowly. That's it. Let's stay grounded, observant, compassionate, persevere, gentle. It's a lot, but it's worth it. It is worth it, because we deserve to become our truest versions, away with all these layers of conditioning and of fear, that have kind of obfuscated our light that is always there. The light within you is always there. There's no questioning. It's just our conditioning and our mind patterns that create layers of separation. Vale? So remember your worthiness, eternal worthiness. Remember your worthiness and remain observant of your own thoughts. Telling myself, ¿vale? I'm not like be above it all. Bueno, y con esto, Owl and I wish you a great Monday and start to the week, ¿vale? Y mañana is full moon Sagittarius. Remember to watch my episode 3 of season 4, Mel's Magic, and prioritize. Make a list of priorities where you put your energies, and also what needs to let go of. Every full moon invites us to release, constant releasing of the old. Open yourself to the new, to the uncertainty. Have faith in the new earth that's we are co-creating. Yes. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Helps my channel a lot. And subscribe to my channel. I've got lots of videos from season 1, 2, 3 of Magic Mel. Check back. Y aquí estamos. I look forward to sharing more with you next episode, ¿vale? And share with friends. And comment, please. Comment to anything if anything resonates. I'd love to hear from you. Sending you infinite love and gratitude for having you here, ¿vale? Con esto, hasta pronto. Ciao.